Drag Arma Italian. Let's do it. We changed the diff fluid, of course, to 1,000,000. We changed the drive cups because those D-shapes are horrible. Just Beshet made us an amazing custom-made braces for this car. Obviously, I'm going to put the front one. We're going to use the titanium Perfect Pass carbon fiber drive shafts, scorched sagas, and a nice 1446, of course. Now, I just wanted to stop for a minute because we're going to actually change and swap the steering mechanism, and I want to show you guys how it's done. So this is after the swap. It's going to affect your geometry a little bit in your steering, but sometimes, like in this case, we have to because I want to keep it super clean and have the ESC sitting right here. You guys are going to see in a second. Okay, so I just wanted to stop for a minute. Obviously, motor is installed. Max 5 is installed with a cooling fan. Everything is printed. Everything is done. Just wanted to show you a little trick. Most of you guys have already seen it on other builds on my channel, but most of you guys didn't also. So I just wanted to show you. You locate your servo, of course. You position it where exactly you want it. And how do you know where to drill? Just double-sided tape on the actual chassis. And then you just press real well. And then once you lift the servo, you know exactly where to drill. This is obviously after you make sure that the position of the servo is perfect, nothing is touching. And now I'm going to lift that up and show you how that looks. So this is how everything looks. Obviously, we're using the Perfect Pass Monster, of course. This is how the servo mount looks like and everything. And this is what it looks like on the car once I'm done. Now I'm just going to use a nice center punch and actually mark those holes, drill them, and then I can remove the tape and install the servo. All right, brilliant. So we're getting there. Everything is done, of course. This build is complete. Let's just go through it real quick for those who just joined us. Italian EXB Cordova 1446 2400 kV. We now got the wire tucked in nicely. Max 5, we printed a nice holder for a turbo fan. The turbo fan is fed from the ESC, so it just turns on automatically as soon as the ESC, as soon as you actually press it. China Hobbyland 6S, of course, QS 8, Perfect Pass carbon fiber brace. Just Beshet aluminum braces here. Perfect Pass Monster servo, scorched for the holder and spool. Perfect Pass carbon fiber titanium drive shafts, custom made for this car, of course. And the first one, I probably forgot something here, but you guys can see the build and actually pause it if you want to build the same and see exactly how I build it. Try to keep it as clean as I could, of course, with wiring and whatnot. The first wheels that we're going to use are the GRP 5th scale, and not just the GRP 5th scale. I'm deciding to go with the ultra soft slicks. So super curious about these. They're very, very grippy. So slicks ultra soft 5th scale. And you probably ask, how do you gonna put a 5th scale on this one of those cars, which are different, obviously, adapters? Just Beshet made me these, which are brilliant and they're beautiful. And these are meant to actually go here instead of those hubs and actually fit GRP 5th scale. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. Let me put some on the car and I'll show you how that looks. let me tell you. I knew it's gonna have like an animalistic stance to it being so wide with 5th scale GRPs, but not as aggressive. So it looks pretty awesome. I like it. It actually looks pretty good. Now I already made sure the shocks are preloaded and everything. Actually, let me open it up real quick. Just wanted to show you some angles of it with the body on it. Man, let me tell you, that thing came out to be so freaking sexy. So let's talk about some options. If that doesn't work and these arms, because they're so long, they're a little bit too flexy, if you will, we can also always change it to Arma Limitless or Typhoon, whatever, same A-arms. So it's going to be a lot shorter, bring that inside a lot if we want. Another option is, of course, to either do that or change the wheels to just normal foam wheels. I just am super curious of what's going to happen with Slick's GRPs. I think they have so much surface and it's going to bite a lot. I obviously set up all my camber, toe, caster. Everything is already set up. Everything is already ready to receive some load when it comes to squat, of course. And the front is exactly how it's supposed to be, or at least I hope, right? This puppy is completely done and I'm super, super excited. The car is super, super smooth. We actually ended up having a really, really nice build, guys. So thank you so much for joining. Now we're gonna take it out there and see if it actually works. Wait. Not so fast, cowboy, guys. We will get there in about 10 seconds. But before that, just like every build, this one is no different. We're putting it on nice 2x4s and we're running the car. A little braking, if you will, just to make sure everything is on the up and up. The gears, the mesh seats right, the shafts are sitting right, the differential is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. All the axles are doing exactly what it's supposed to do, how straight the wheels are. Super, super important. Don't have to overthink it. But for the electronics, mechanically, a little braking, probably a minute or two, just to be on the up and up. I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna show you how it's done, and then we're gonna get out there and rip. First of all, braking. Come on, Razi. Wow, this is horrible. This is probably the worst I've ever seen. Those 5th scale GRPs are so unbalanced. Good luck, car. All right, first time trying the Italian. Should I just floor it?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh no. So far it's great. It's just too much power. It's just so much grip and so much power. I don't know what to do, it's just too strong.
This one, to handle.
I did not think it will wheelie that much on GRPs though. Oh, it doesn't care what speed. Pretty surprised, to be honest.
Why? Let's go.
Okay. Very important conclusions that I would like to share. Before that, though, I received some new tech that I want to show you. Company by the name of RevoPoint contacted me and they said, hey, Raz, we know you're making products for the RC community, blah, blah, blah. How about we send you our blue light, laser, whatever, 3D scanner? And I said, okay, why not? But just so you know, those scanners are normally not as accurate. Honestly, a good 3D scanner, you're talking starting from $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. One thing that I hate, you have to paint everything white. So everything, I just decided I'm just gonna scan this one because it's intricate enough and there are many details here. So it's gonna be a good test for this scanner. You have to paint everything white. If not, it just doesn't pick it up as well. I'm gonna put a link, by the way, to this product in the description if you care for one of these. It's more of like a home use, really, something basic. I did ended up, after a while of learning the system and whatnot, managed to scan this part. How accurate it is, I don't know exactly. It looks okay-ish. Again, for home use is okay. I would probably improve the software by a lot. I think their software needs to be improved. Also, those files that I was ending up having, I couldn't just drag it to my computer and I will have it just a nice solid model file. It probably needs to be converted to something else. This is at least my experience with this product. It's okay-ish. It gets confused a lot, so you have to learn how to work with it. But it does work. So it does do about what it says it will do for this price. Again, one of those scanners should cost a lot more. So for whatever this one costs, maybe it's somewhat okay if you're looking for very basic scans for very small things at your house. It will not scan bigger things. It'll lose track very easily. So this is the RevoPoint Mini. Now this product is actually pretty funny the way they presented it. So it's a new smartphone. It's called Blackview BL8800 Pro. They contacted me and they said, hey Raz, how about you review this smartphone for us? I said, well, here's the deal. I'm not really into smartphones. I'm not really as savvy about them that much. I mean, I have a nice iPhone that I use. It's not really my forte. It's not my niche. More so it's going to bore my viewers. And then they said, well, but this one is not just a smartphone. There's actually some tricks up its sleeve. I said, okay, what is it? First of all, it had like 8,000 milliamps or something. Super, super rigid and robust. It wasn't enough. I said, still, guys, it's not really my niche. I'm not interested. And then they pulled a nice card on me and they said, Raz, we know you're building stuff and you're analyzing electronics and whatnot. What if we told you that this one actually have an integrated thermal camera by FLIR? Also, this phone is like $300 or something like that. All right, fine. Now, there's one thing I cannot wait to try. Now, as again, like I said before, as a phone review channel, I think I suck. There are probably much better review channels out there you guys can look into to review this phone. I think it's just a nice Android, I hope. But what is going to be nice is to try and test the FLIR camera to analyze some things with our RC cars. Okay, so let's get to the juicy stuff. So like I said, I'm not much of an Android user, but it does seem to be a nice, robust, super heavy phone. So it's, I guess that 8,000 batteries for real. And I guess it's just like a normal Android. Like I said, I'm an iPhone user. You have all your apps and stuff and Google and searches and you know the drill and apps. But the thing that I care about the most, I think if you slide it up, yes, you get all those apps, one of which is the one that I really care about. Let's get to the juicy stuff, my FLIR. So this is the thermal camera that we're going to use. And now obviously the car is obviously cold, so we're not going to see anything in particular. But what if we can analyze motor temperatures, especially after runs, ESC temperatures, wires, see what our connectors are doing, see what our mesh is doing, and we're going to test it for the first time right now. So I'm going to set the phone. We're going to start it up. This is one of those cars that I built for testing other things. For example, those are the new China Hobbyland 10,000 Innovation RC. Beautiful batteries that I promised them I'm going to test. So I'm just going to build a nice rig for it. I'm going to test it out, see how the voltage dropping and whatnot. This comes in next videos. What if we can actually measure our mesh and temperatures rising? I think it's going to be fun. If not, it's going to suck. All right, front differential and axles. It's going to be a lot more eventful. Sorry about that. Anyway, cool little product, just a size comparison. This is an iPhone 11, one of my old iPhones. So this phone is actually pretty big. Like I said, I'm an iPhone user. So for me to review this one, it's just not going to be fair because I have no idea what I'm doing. But it seems all right. Like I said, a lot of the information is online and many other creators have reviewed this phone. I think it's cool. It's a smartphone, an Android, and it's like $300 or $400. But what I really care about is that it had the FLIR camera. Obviously, for the sake of this video, this was kind of okay test, but I'm going to actually take it further and analyze it, sometimes with mesh, sometimes after run. So it's going to be fun. Maybe I'm going to make this one my designated speedrun phone. So it's going to have the GPS app on it and the FLIR so I can play around with it. And like I said, this one is coming in the next video. This is just a test car, and we're trying the Innovation RC China Hobbyland 10,000 beautiful, beautiful batteries on a nice 2028 XLX2. You know the drill, nothing too crazy going on here. Let's go back to this behemoth. Actually, let me put you on the stand so it's a lot easier. Crazy editing skills, Razi, show us. Wow, amazing. So anyway, here are some conclusions. First of all, I'm amazed of how much traction those GRP got. Just unbelievable. There's so much surface, and that was the idea in the to begin with. But man, let me tell you, and I gave it a ton of preload, so a lot needed to happen for it to actually snap itself every time. It's just a lot more power than I thought, which is great. Everything held up, the build is fine, but what's going to happen is I'm going to make the arms here a lot narrower, or shorter arms, narrower car. So probably use the Arma Typhoon, Arma Limitless Infraction A-arms, obviously steering links and axles as well. So it's going to be just more contained, more of a rocket than just like Spider-ish that can't find itself on the asphalt. So that's what's going to happen. Probably in one of the next videos. So if you're new here, consider sticking around, and we're going to make sure that this car is a little bit weaker. I know it sounds weird, but I'm actually considering changing the spool to a differential, probably with like 1,000,000 weight, just so it finds itself more on the asphalt and a little bit more energy goes to the front, spinning a little bit of tire, pulling the car, versus just it pushing itself so much every single time. Also, I'm considering putting a different ratio in the front, so the front spins just a little bit quicker, just so it pulls itself instead of pushing itself, if that makes sense. About those wheels, remember that FG, the beautiful BMW that we're going to build soon in one of the next videos? I'm actually thinking about putting those tires on it with a huge 5th scale motor. That actually might be an amazing drag car, and beautiful also. So consider sticking around if you're new here. On a serious note, I know you're all busy, you have family lives and whatnot, so thank you so much for giving me your time. You have the option of what you're watching, and you elect to watch me, which is huge, and I really don't take it for granted. When it comes to everything that was in this video, all the links are obviously in the description, and we're going to do something that we're doing lately that I really kind of like, blast from the past. So every video I'm going to suggest an older video that most of my newer subscribers haven't seen yet. So this is the video. Check it out if you wish, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. I appreciate you. Shifrin, over and out. See ya.